he said, I'm looking at core services excluding housing.
Right.
He may have, and I don't know. We don't know because the numbers are inconsistent with what he said. He may have some other indicator.
What indicator could that be? I mean, we're all looking at the same thing.
He may have, and I'm not saying he does, but if you wanted to get an indicator of financial conditions that has tightened, you would narrow it down incredibly, like to the Fed funds rate, and just look at the Fed funds rate, and that has gone up. Most people don't do that because they understand that the transmission of monetary policy to the economy goes through many financial conditions, the ability of companies to borrow, right? That's a financial condition. But I don't know. It's a puzzle, and people are still trying to work it out today.
So, I want to bring up China. Is China going to be an issue? I keep hearing this. So, China's reopening, could that be a game changer for the inflation picture later this year?
So the answer is some people feel that way. I'm not there yet. So step back. There are three views of inflation for the rest of the year. There is the disinflation. Inflation is going to keep on coming down, all the way down, and we'll get very close to 2% at some stage. And if you extrapolate the last few months, okay, then you're there, because goods disinflation has been very strong. That's view number one. We have no inflation issue. View number two, where I am, is that inflation will prove sticky when we get to about 4%, because two things are going to happen. By the middle of this year and the third quarter, the goods disinflation is going to stop. There's a limit to how low some prices can fall. And services are going to prove to be sticky. So we'll get stuck at about 4%, and then there's going to be some really interesting choices for the Fed. Then there's a third view. It was expressed most recently in Davos, and there was the head of the Norwegian Sovereign Fund, who believes that inflation will start going back up in the second half of this year because of China. Because China will push up significantly goods inflation at a time when service inflation isn't coming down, and then you get the U in inflation. I'm not there. I want to stress I am not there, but that's where the China effect can complicate the inflation picture.
So I'm going to invite Erin Arvidlin to ask her questions at the moment. Erin?
Yeah, Mohamed, thank you for being here. Here's a simpleton question. Are we in a recession? And if we are, why are we in a recession?
Thanks, Erin. Actually, it's not a simpleton question. I do not believe we're in a recession, nor do I believe a recession is 100% probability, as Bloomberg Economics has predicted. Why are we not in a recession? Mm-hmm. First and foremost, the labor market. We have an incredibly strong labor market. Yesterday, we had the JOLTS numbers, which is the amount of job openings. They went up. They went up to 11 million, and they now outnumber the unemployed by a factor of 1.9. So there is one person unemployed for every 1.9 jobs open. So the labor and the unemployment rate is near record lows. So it's very difficult to say there's a recession going on from the labor market. From the goods market, while the forward indicators are worrisome, the current indicators are still strong. And we saw that again today with the numbers that came out. So Erin, in terms of your question, we are not in a recession. There's a possibility of a recession, but it's not nowhere near the 100% or the 80 or 90% that some people claim it is, in my view.
Okay. And my second question is, as our audience is pension funds and other institutions, should they be increasing their fixed income exposure? Like, for instance, looking at the 2 years, they're earning over 4%. And if they are, what parts of the market are you interested in?
So this question a month ago and 2 months ago was a no-brainer, literally a no-brainer. Fixed income was incredibly attractive. It was attractive on a standalone basis. It was attractive historically. And on a risk-adjusted basis, it was attractive relative to equities. The problem that investors have today is that we've had a massive rally in the first month and 2 days in fixed income. I mean, massive, absolutely massive. The 10-year is down 50 plus basis points. There's been quite a bit of rally in credit spreads. So the value is still there, but it's not as compelling as it was a month and 2 months ago when it was really compelling. So that's the dilemma facing investors. Do they come in now? And they should, if they believe that a soft landing is possible and the Fed is basically